Hi everyone. In the previous video, I talked about how I built my first Mac application using AI. And there were a lot of comments in that video asking me to cover the workflow that I used to create this application using AI. I have created another video related to building an app with AI on my another channel. You can check it out from the link in the comment section, which will be pinned in the comment section. I'll be covering more AI related videos in that channel because this channel is more Obsidian specific. In this video, I will share my workflow that I use to create this Mac application called as ZenFocus. If you want to check out the application, you can check it out from the link in the description. It is a productivity app that helps you to stay focused. So I'll close this one. I will try to build a timer application. I know it's a simple application because it was also a simple application when I built it first. I started adding features one by one using AI. So you can also start simple on the basic core idea of the app. Then you can expand later on by adding new features and integrating new features. So we'll be using Cursor AI for this. You can download Cursor from this website, cursor.com. It is available for all devices. I have already downloaded it, so I'll just launch it, Cursor application. So I already have my project open here. By default, it will look like this. So it is just a fork of VS Code with added AI features. You will need to open a folder where you will be writing code for that file. Since I'll be creating a Mac application, Mac timer application, I'll first go to Xcode to create a new project, and I will link that project with this Cursor application. Let me show you how. So Xcode, I go to Xcode. Okay, I already have the project file for ZenFocus. I'll create a new project called Mac timer. Click on next. So I'll just create a folder inside the downloads folder. So this is the project folder for this Mac timer application. Now, I already have all the files over here. If I go to this download folder, I'll need to select this folder as my project folder for Cursor. And this folder has all the other important files necessary for a Mac application, which are created by default from the Xcode project. Now I'll go to Cursor and click on open a folder, go to downloads, Mac timer, and select this folder, click on open. This will open this view of the Cursor application. Now we will be using the Composer feature of Cursor. Composer allows you to create an app using natural language. It will allow you to do multi-file editing. So I'll just select these two files. If you do not have any files, because if you are using it to create files for other tools and it is empty by default, then you'll just need to press on Control K or Command K. If you are on Mac, I'm on Mac, so I'll press Command K. And over here, I'll select these two files and add files to Composer. What this does is it gives the AI context, or if you put files in the Composer, the AI will read all of the code that is available in all of these files. So I'll just give it a prompt. You will need to explain what app you want, how should the app function, or what are the features it should have. So I'll just write something about the timer app. So here I have written a simple description of the app. I want you to build a modern looking timer app using SwiftUI for Mac. The timer app should have a default timer option and also custom option in seconds. And when the timer finishes, it should bring the timer window to the front, even if it is hidden or minimized. And there should be an option to stop the timer. What I want the timer to do is behave like an alarm. When the timer finishes, it should repeatedly play the timer sound unless the user stops it from the window. So I'll just submit this query to the AI and it is giving me response here. Now we have all the necessary code files for this app. It edited the content in the content view file and Mac timer app and created a new code file called timermanager.swift file. So you will need to accept this in order to make changes. When you accept, all of the changes that are created, all of the new files and changes in the code created by Cursor will be accepted. So once you accept, all of these changes will be applied. Now let me go to Xcode to preview the application. So we have a content view over here. This is showing an error I think it is doing good by showing this error because you will be able to know how you can solve these errors. So sometimes the code won't be correct. Okay, so these are the errors that it is giving. So I'll just need to copy the errors. Because I have already built the app, I think this error is because it is specific to iPhones. The code is not working. I'll just copy these two codes in the composer and submit it, and now it will create new code. It will edit the code that needs changes. It is saying, I apologize for the confusion. Error is occurring because keyboard type is not available for Mac OS TextField. That was what I was saying. It is only available for iPhones. So click on accept all, go to Xcode to visualize. Let's try to build it. And we have a successful build over here. It is being built. Let's see what we have. Okay, so this is a simple timer app. Currently it only has 5 minutes, but I wanted it to have more default option like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes like that. And the button is not visually good. There's a little extra spacing over here. Okay, you have the custom option. Okay, let's try it for 5 seconds. Click and start. Okay, the timer finishes and you can see I didn't do anything, but the timer is brought to the front. The timer window is brought to the front. That is what I wanted. Now I can press on stop timer. Now we need to make certain changes to the application. One of the best thing about Cursor is that you can iterate over the code and you can make your app better by just prompting it new things. So here I have written, I need you to add more default option because there is only one option, that is 5 minutes. And also the buttons have extra spacing around it. And it is also not playing sound when the timer finishes. So what you can see here is that it's just you are having a conversation with AI and the AI will build the app for you. So you do not need to have coding knowledge. You just need to have an idea of what you want to build, and you just need to be able to put that idea into words, and AI will build that code for you. So here are some changes that it has made. I have added more default options and added the audio player code in the code to play alarm sound. And I'll need to add a MP3 called alarm.mp3 in my project file. I will select a task completion MP3 from here and rename it as alarm. Okay. Copy it, Mac timer, rename it and name it alarm.mp3. Let us try to rebuild the application. You can build it, if you are on Mac, you can build it by using Command R. Still the buttons are not good. We can do that again. Let's say go back to Cursor and tell it make the buttons better. Remove and fix that. Let's try a custom timer of 5 seconds. Okay, it just played the timer sound for one time. No. It is playing the timer sound repeatedly. You can see, you can listen to it. Maybe the timer, maybe the alarm.mp3 file is like 9 to 10 seconds long. So it's showing that little pause in between. I click on stop and the timer is stopped, I guess. And it won't play the sound again. And it is not doing so. So it has made changes to the content view to create better buttons. I'll click on accept. I'll run it again. Now it's better. So you can see here we have a timer application, simple timer application with the option, with the default option, also the option to add custom timer. And let's click on start. You can minimize this window and it will pop up when the timer finishes, playing the timer sound again and again until you press stop. So this is a simple application, nothing complex, but still if you wanted to build this application, you needed to have the knowledge of coding. You needed to learn programming, but you don't have to do it now. So this previous application that I built. Okay, let me go to Xcode and show you from there. Open project, open recent, ZenFocus. Open this ZenFocus project, and all of these files, you can see here, all of these files are created by AI. I don't know much coding, just a little bit only. So I just tell the cursor AI to do certain things. If I don't like one thing, I'll just tell it. If I don't like another thing, I just tell it, and I would improve upon the application one by one. First, you have to start with the basic version of the application. You don't have to focus on like details, design, etc. Just build a bare bone application, then improve upon it by adding more features. And that's what I'm doing currently with the ZenFocus application. Let me show you an example with the ZenFocus application as well. I'll close this and open a new project, ZenFocus project, okay? And this is the project file. Click on open. Now there's a feature that I want to add. So I want to add this feature, automatically select the first suggestion for category. Currently what is happening with the application is that, let's say a new task and category. I can't just press enter. You can see category tag is shown at first, but if I press on enter right now, it will create this category called CATEGO. I don't want this to happen. What I want to happen is when a category is displayed in the first, like category is displayed, it should be selected by default, and I can switch categories by pressing the arrows on the keyboard. Let's try to add this feature. So I'll go to cursor and I will first need to select all of these files and remove the MP3 files because they are not necessary. Click on add files to composer. Now tell it what you want to build. Here's what I have written. Currently in the text field for adding task, there is a feature to add category by pressing @ What I want you to do is the first auto suggestion should be selected by default, and it should give a visual feedback for the selected category. Now I can just submit this to the composer, and now it is editing the required file. It has read all the code that was submitted to it, and now it's editing the category picker file and task list view file, which is over here. If you have a good coding knowledge and experience, you can see what are the changes that it has made. But if you do not have any coding experience or good knowledge of coding, then all you need to do is just accept it and check if it is working or not. Check if it is working the way you wanted it or not. I'll just accept all of these, go to Xcode and try to build the application. Let's see if the feature is implemented or not. Let's try to add a new task with a category. The category is selected over here. I can do any action. Like I should be able to navigate categories by pressing the buttons on the keyboard, up and down buttons or a left and right arrow. I also should be able to select the category by using the return key. So I'll tell the cursor AI to do that. So I told it I should be able to navigate to different categories by using arrow keys, and I also should be able to use the return key to add the selected category. So I'll just press on return and submit submit it. Okay, so to implement keyboard navigation, we need to modify the category picker and task list view components. Now you can see with the changes, user can use the left and right arrow keys to navigate through categories. Pressing the return key will select the currently highlighted category. When the category figure is shown, it automatically receives focus, allowing immediate keyboard navigation. After selecting a category or adding a new one, the picker is closed and the focus is returned to the main input field. Great. I'll just accept it, go to Xcode, try to rebuild the application and see if it is working the way we want or not. Okay. Let's add a new task. New task @ Okay. I'm not able to move it. It's not working still. So I can't navigate between the categories. So I'll just go back to cursor and tell you what's happening. Navigate to categories. The view it's not taking the focus even after pressing. And let's see what the AI responds. Now it has made some changes to the code for both task list view as well as category picker. I'll just accept it. Go to Xcode again and try to build the application. And let's add a new task at the rate. Okay, what's happening? New task. ZenFocus. Okay, now it is giving some errors. Cannot find is active in scope and cannot find type publishers in scope. So I'll just copy this error and paste it into Cursor AI and it will try to solve that error. It has made the required changes to the code. Let's go back to Xcode and try to run the code. And there is another error. Let's copy it again and go to Cursor. So one of the problem with building SwiftUI application is that you will get a lot of errors because unlike other programming language, SwiftUI is a relatively new programming language. So the AI does not have a lot of information on SwiftUI. But if you are using any older language like JavaScript or Python, then it will work very good. Let's accept the changes. When you see a response by the AI, you should always read the response because reading that response will give you a good idea of what the app is doing or what are the changes it is making. This will be very helpful in future cases because you will also start to learn. Let's go back to Xcode and see if the error is still there. Okay, so there is no error right now, so I'll just build it. Oh no, there are a lot of errors. The recent changes in the code made a lot of errors. So this is one thing that you have to remember. After you have built a good version of the application, a working version of the application, just copy that code and place it somewhere else because the AI will mess up the code sometimes. So it is easier to go back to the previous version of the code when you have saved it somewhere else. I copy all of these errors and go to Cursor, Composer and add all of these errors, fix all these errors. Okay, it is fixing the errors in the task list view file and applying the errors. It has removed the redeclaration, I guess. Let's go back to Xcode and try to build the application. Okay, finally the app is being built, but let's hope the feature is added to select categories. I guess it's still not working. I don't want to make this video much longer because I definitely find a way to do it myself when I'm not recording the video, but I guess you got the idea of how to build it. Like you have to submit all of the errors you are getting to the app and the app will give you back a solution, and if the solution is working, keep it. If the solution is not working, discard it and try a different approach. And this was my exact workflow on how I built this simple looking but yet a useful application called as ZenFocus. If you want to try out the app, you can check out the link in the description. It is free application for macOS, a good productivity application that I built for myself, but that I also thought would be helpful for others, so I'm sharing it with others. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a great time and you start bringing your own ideas to life with the help of AI. This is just one example of using Cursor to build a SwiftUI application. You can build application for different devices. You can build web applications. There is also V0 by Vercel. There is also Replit Agent, which is a new tool launched in the market. You can check it out. But overall, Cursor is a good starting point for people who want to start building their own application or start building an app that they have dreamed for so long. If you look at the pricing of Cursor, it is free with some limitation. Like you won't be able to use the premium models like Cloud, which has 500 premium requests per month. And you can also get a 14-day free trial. So you definitely need to get started today. That is all for this video. I hope you had a great time watching this video and learning more about building an application using Cursor AI.